Hi and welcome to Mary Moore Designs. My name is Kim Miller and I'm going to be showing you the basic stitches in crochet. I know that I said I was going to release a class every 2 weeks or so, but I changed my mind on that and I'm going to just be releasing classes as I do them. These are just short classes just to show you the basic stitches. I will be going through later on like how to read the pattern, and this is all very basic, so any pattern that I use is going to be a very basic pattern. Nothing too extreme. I'll let you guys kind of dig into that on your own. I just want to get the basic stuff out there. I do plan on doing more advanced classes, but they're going to probably be on Skillshare. And one of them is probably going to be like a color pooling class, Tunisian crochet, and stuff like that. So, but this right here is just basics. So for any of you who have not crocheted ever before, this class is for you. I want to point out that crocheting can be very good for your health, but it also can be hard on your hands, your shoulders, your back. So make sure that you're taking lots of breaks when you're crocheting. Okay, so what we're going to do first to get started is I'm going to just kind of go over what I'm working with today. And I think that I put this in the PDF that I put on my website. And it's just basic medium weight yarn. So this is just a Red Heart Soft worsted weight, so it's just a medium, number 4, and then I have an H or a 5mm hook. Like I said, if you have anything different, so maybe you have an I or you have a J or you have a G hook, something a little bit bigger or smaller, that's perfectly fine, as long as your hook isn't way small or anything like this. You don't want this. Okay, everybody does things differently, so to the way I hold my hook, you might hold it like this, you might hold it like this. There's no right or wrong way to do this. The stitches, of course, there is a right and a wrong way to do them, but the way you hold your materials, do whatever is comfortable for you. Don't think that because somebody is holding their hook like this or like this that you have to hold it that way as well. So that goes for anything, even the yarn. So if you want to hold the yarn a certain way in your left hand or your right hand, then go ahead if it's comfortable for you. We're going to start by making the slip knot, and to do that, when your pattern calls for you to make a slip knot and then to chain so many chains, you want to make sure that you're leaving a tail. So I always leave at least anywhere between 8 and 12 inches for a tail. That'll give me enough to work with at the end when I have to weave this back in. For this tutorial, this class, I'm going to leave it short because of the space I have in front of me. But what you're going to do first, and again, this can be done many different ways, but I do it this way, and I just start by wrapping it around my finger like this, and I hold it closed, and then I'm going to take my working yarn, which is here in my left, and I'm just going to flip it right over onto this, and I end up with kind of a pretzel shape, so you can see that there. And you want to pick up your hook and insert it right down in the center here, and then pick up this piece of yarn that's right in the middle. So just pick it up just like that, and then gently pull the tail and the working yarn tight. So don't do it too tight, but if you did do it tight like this, a trick that you can do is pull the tail yarn to loosen and then pull your working yarn to tighten. So if you did do it really tight like that, let's say you don't have to take it off and start over, just kind of gently pull on that tail yarn and it'll loosen up for you. So I'm going to do that again. Just wrap it once around your finger, just like this, and then hold it, and then flip it right over onto this piece of yarn, so you end up with that, that pretzel shape. And then bring in your hook right in the center, and then pick up this yarn over here. Don't pick up this over here because this is our tail. You want to pick this up here, and then just lightly pull on the two pieces here. Okay, so that is it. That's it for a slip knot. If you have another way of doing it, that's perfectly fine. Again, do whatever is comfortable for you. I am just showing you the ways that I do things here. So anybody who is very new, go ahead and try it this way. Alright, so now that we have our slip knot, one thing you want to make sure of too, and I'll show you this in a little bit, I'm going to leave this a little more loose than I normally would, just to show you. Okay, so when you get your pattern, it's going to call, let's say, we're going to say 10 chains, and we're going to do that right now. So with your tail yarn off to the side, make sure that this is not over here, because you might pick this up and start making chains with this. And you don't want to do that because, well, you're going to run out of yarn pretty quickly. So what I do is I just kind of hold it back this way, out of the way, and then we're going to start our first chain. Alright, so I said I was going to leave that loose. Let's leave it loose. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your working yarn in your left hand, you're going to yarn over, and when I say yarn over, that is from the back to the front, like this. So we're not taking it from the front to the back, like this. We're actually picking it up, bringing it behind the hook, and wrapping it around, just like that. So what I do is I hold on to my slip knot, just to hold it kind of tight, so I can pull this, you can see, right through that last chain that we made. So we're going to go ahead and do that again. So we'll yarn over, and then just kind of hold on to your chain, and then pull it right through the previous chain we just made. So you can see now, as I'm pulling it through, it's kind of twisted, just when you twist back, and it's the way I'm holding it to show you guys, but make sure it's not completely twisted like this. You want to make sure that your chain comes through nice and straight. And you can see them forming because you'll see the V shape here. So if you see that V shape, then you're good. You're good to go, and you can continue on. So I'll go ahead, yarn over, just kind of holding, pick it up, and pull it right through. This is a good place too for you to start working on your tension. You want your chain in all of your stitches to be nice and even, to kind of be the same size and tension, so that your pattern is it looks good throughout. So I'll go ahead, yarn over, and pull it right through that last chain. And the way I do what I was trying to say before is the way I get my pieces to look the same, when I'm pulling my yarn through right here, I kind of look at the stitches or the chains before it, and I kind of just pull out that amount of yarn to match it. So I wouldn't pull out this much, obviously, because then the chain would be way too big, and I wouldn't tighten it up really tight, because then I'd end up with a really small chain, and when I went to crochet into it, I might miss it. So you want them to all be even and look about the same. So again, we're going to yarn over, grab the yarn with our hook, and pull it right through, just like that. And that's why I hold on to this here. As I'm going, I move up, just holding it, so I have a good idea of where I should, you know, how much I should pull out on that new chain. So let's take a look here. I'll do 10. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll do 7, 8, 9, and 10. So when you're doing these, I am holding this this way, and I'm actually wrapping this around. If you wanted to hold on to the yarn like this and hold this in your left hand, and you just want to yarn under, or bring in your hook underneath your yarn like this, and then pull it through just like that, and then move up as you go, that is perfectly fine too. Like I said, do whatever is comfortable for you. I wanted to show you guys how to do it, so I'm actually picking the yarn up and pulling it over. But if you hold it differently, that's fine, as long as you're getting a good, nice, even chain. Okay, so now you can see that we have a little more than 10, but in order to count your chains, you're just going to look for the V here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now what I wanted to show you earlier when I was talking about your slip knot is, I think I tightened it too much. If you leave it open, so if you leave it open and not pull it tightly, you run the risk of mistaking this for an actual chain. So before you start your chain, just do a little push on this the slip knot and make sure it's not open. And then if you look at the back, you can see, hopefully, that there is just a series of little bumps there. So you can see that. But that's what the back looks like. And then the front of the chain just looks like a series of V's. So if you get done with yours and it's kind of twisted, maybe you're seeing part of the back and part of the front, you may have chained into something else, or you may have twisted your yarn as you were chaining. So all you have to do is go back to where it seems to be twisted and then redo it, and that's all you have to do. Or you could start over. But I definitely recommend using this time here when you're doing your chains to practice your tension, because it's very important for your piece to look nice and neat at the end, because in most patterns you'll see that this here will be the edge of your piece. So if it's all wonky and off size, if the sizes are off, you're going to see that in the end. So you want to make sure that your chain looks nice and straight and neat. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys the slip knot. Just bring it around your finger, just like that. Make a loop. Flip the loop over onto your working yarn. Grab your hook. You see you've got the pretzel. Bring it into the center. Pick up that middle left piece. So what I'm calling left is, this would be the right side here, and this is our tail. This would be the left, so this is our working yarn. We want to pick up our working yarn piece, not both, just the center piece here. So pick that up and then just gently pull on the yarn. Again, you can open and close these, so loosen and tighten depending on which side of the yarn you're pulling. And then again, I want to show you this here real quick, that if I start making my chains, oops, let's do that again. So I'll make this really loose. So that was my, do you see, this is actually a chain right here. So this first one, I did it really, really loose. I didn't tighten it at all. So if I start chaining just like this, you can see that this is going to look like an actual chain, and in fact it's not. So if I was to tighten this up, you'll see that that was actually my slip knot. So just be aware of that, because you can really mess up your pattern, and then you got to go all the way back. And then if you're trying to figure out why you're showing more chains than it's calling for, this could be why. So anyway, that is the slip knot and the chain. In the next class I'm going to go over single crochet, and we're actually going to crochet a little swatch, and you can go ahead and do like a washcloth or something very simple to start out with. So if you have questions, please feel free to contact me through my website here at marymoore.com. There's the contact me page, just go there. Or you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and that's it. That is it for the beginning of the class. I know it's very short. Again, I will see you in the next one, and have fun crocheting. Thanks. Bye.